Hi everyone, welcome to our webinar. I'm Mathilde from the admission team at the University of Monaco. We are today presenting the Master in International Management. And today's webinar will be a bit different than usual. It will be a discussion between our program director, Professor Camille Safarov, and one of our current students, Giorgio Del Grillo. And we also have joining us today, Katharina Werner, that is also working on the program. So hello to the three of you.
Hello, thank you, Mathilde.
Hello.
So, thanks. Good. Okay, let's go directly to the point. Thank you, Giorgio, for joining and giving your time. We know that the period is quite crazy, the end of semester, a lot of presentations, so final projects, etc. So it's even more valuable your time here. So what I propose you, maybe if we can start with the quick introduction, just briefly introduce yourself and maybe what initially motivated you to join the International Management Master.
Of course. Thank you very much for having me here. Hello, everybody. Yeah, it is quite intense right now, but it's also a good way, to pause a second and make me breathe. So thank you for giving me this excuse. I am Giorgio Maria Pezzana Capranica del Grillo. I am 22 years old from Italy, and as I'm pretty sure you know by now, I'm a Master of Science student in International Management. I also did my BBA here, and I was the president of the Finance Society. So originally, why I decided to remain at IUM, let's first start there. Since I did my BBA here, I already knew that this was the best environment for me to thrive academically. So it was rather an easy decision to just keep going for an extra year. And also on that note, there was actually a lot of my friends that also decided to stay here for their respective masters, whether it was international management, luxury, or finance, etc. So it was also nice to maintain the friendships for another year, at least be all in the same place. And why I chose international management, it's well, I don't really have right now something that I'm set on. So in management, I think was the international management course was the best for me because it's rather broad, but it gives you a lot of detailed aspects on management and whether it's, for example, finance. This week we were doing contracts and negotiations. It's really interesting because it's broad but detailed at the same time. And maybe a bit more specific, it also caught my attention because of the specialization on real estate as well as family firms. Those are two things that I was interested in learning more about, and therefore it was in the end it was rather an easy decision for me, let's say.
Okay, thank you. Very good. So you mentioned real estate, and maybe I want to immediately back to the second question because we are talking a lot about experiential learning. It's in our DNA for all the programs, and I wanted to how you would describe this experience, how it looks like in practice, and especially maybe you can mention about like you can tell us a little bit more about the experience that you had specifically in the real estate course.
Okay, yeah. So when it
Yeah.
comes to experiential learning, it's something that I'm really appreciating from this master, I have to say, compared to the bachelor, because it's exactly these sort of little aspects of each subject, the experiential learning subjects, that go past just learning information, learning the knowledge, and it's really truly about applying it. We're not applying it in a random case study that we might not be interested in, or that it might be a fictitious company, etc. Of course, I've done it. I've done the experiential, one of the various experiential learnings with you, which was actually one of my favorite ones. So if we take that example, so for the people watching, they know what an experiential learning, let's say, exercise is. Essentially, we have final exams and midterms, and when it comes to the midterms, they could be in the form of presentations. And so in this case, we had professionals come from abroad. For your class, it was for a marketing agency based in Dubai, And usually they have an issue, for example, that they would like to solve, or something that they would like to improve in their company. And so what they do is they brief us about the company, they give us information, etc., and what our task is: solving an issue, improving, etc. For this marketing agency, their aim was to be acquired by a larger company within 5 years, and therefore they were seeking to increase their value as an asset and their overall competitive advantage. So they split us into groups, and we were assigned randomly a subject to do regarding this company. Personally, my group got partnerships and mergers and acquisitions. So we had to develop and redevelop, let's say, renew their partnership strategy. So find new clauses to add, find how they could improve rather than have being weighted down from their partners, as well as develop a short list for potential investments that they can make into niche or emerging markets, emerging companies. Yeah. And regarding real estate, it was a lot of fun. It's the professor was really, really nice. Actually, he came from America. He's working for Douglas Elliman, who also set up an office here in Monaco. And that one was really fun also because I think it was the only one for us. It was, well, because the luxury society has a lot of let's say trips, but we went to Mare Terra. For those who don't know, that's the new neighborhood development here in Monaco that extended Monaco within the sea. And so we went all throughout Mare Terra. They explained to us exactly how the process was, and all the investments that they had to go through, and the difficulties, etc. So that was really fun. And now, actually, it's one of the projects I'm currently working on now. We are having a simulation basically we need to propose a real estate investment opportunity to in this case, fictitious investor. It's really fun because we have set parameters and we need to include as much as we can. We have 5 million, I think, maximum for investment, and we get to choose the market. We get to choose what the investment opportunity is, whether it's for holidays or for renting or et cetera, et cetera. And so we have a lot of freedom, but at the same time, it really is a simulated working environment because our professor is super passionate about his career, and so he's really happy to help us and really show us how he works. Of course, in America, here we're doing it for Europe, but it's extremely interesting. And this passion, I don't know if you can tell, but this passion really translates to us. So, yeah.
Okay, very good. When I hear explaining you, like describing your experience, I want to join as well. But of course, it's not everything like pink and nice. There is some difficulties as well, and it's normal. The cohort it's composed out of 45 students coming from around 22 different nationalities. So how on daily basis you manage these team relations, cohort mates, complaints, complicated situation? How it's going?
Well, it's okay. We're all friends. I'm gonna start with that. We are all I love the IUM community because we are rather big, I would say, for proportionally to the actual Monaco's population. So there are a lot of us, but we're still a small university, and this creates a strange community in the sense that you're always meeting new people, but it feels like you've known them for a long time because they have friends in common, etc., and everybody's so open and so friendly. And so because of this, we are all friends. But then, of course, there can be disputes within our projects.
That's harder.
Yeah,
when you work with the friends, it's harder.
that makes it a lot harder because there's always the people that maybe don't want to work as much, or they have a different idea to you, or even their cultures are different. And sometimes you're communicating with them and you think somebody did something that for you would be an insult, but actually in their culture is positive. And so because of that, it creates, let's say, some friction. And it's just being about being open-minded, trying to really sharpen your soft skills and communicate with them in a calm but fair manner, let's say, direct and fair, and just understand that some people will work more, will work less. And but I remember also in the project with that we did also another experience project with Monaco TV, which was very fun. And there, for example, I was very set on my idea. We had to present some, I don't know how much I can say, but we had to present a new, let's say,
Yeah, you can go ahead.
okay, all right. You're the director, so I'm not sure what I can say about these things. But no, we had to present a new program for Monaco TV, which is Monaco's national television channel. And so I had very set on my idea. I even made a presentation to present to my group, etc. And in the end, it was 50-50. Half of the group liked it, half the group didn't. So by show of hands, in the end, I think by one vote, they didn't choose my idea, but it is how it is. And within these little disputes, we all need to remind ourselves that we're all friends, and we need just to work as well as we can together. It's not a problem. It's not real life, so it's not about making careers. It's about understanding how the actual work environment will be. So
Exactly.
yeah.
I think that's exactly replicate what happens in the real world. Like the relation between students. I mean, it's perceived sometimes that something disconnected, but and proper to the university, but not at all. We are living the same things here in our offices daily, like daily basis. So, okay. So what will be the next? What? So your classes end on in June, beginning of June. So
Yeah.
what is the next for you?
For me,
Yeah.
okay, so well, now we have the capstone. So exciting. The
Yeah.
capstone, which for those who don't know, the capstone basically is the final step of our degree. We need to choose either a more thesis style. In the bachelor it was called different, but thesis or business plan or an internship. When I did the bachelor, I did the honors track, so I had to do both. So that was very intense. And this year for master, instead, you only choose one. And personally, for me, I will choose the internship. I'm still looking for one, because I think it's what I need right now, just getting more experience. And also my main aim after is to keep working within Monaco's work environment. And of course, already having an internship and starting the experience now will be a lot easier to then get into Monaco's work environment, rather than taking a break with a thesis
Mm.
and then coming back. But of course, for those who would like to do a PhD or further studies, definitely thesis would be a good choice. But personally, for me, I think what I need is a bit more experience.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
doing a
Yeah.
lot of studying. Now I actually need to apply it.
Exactly. And do you think that your like the doing this program had helped you to narrow down your career goals? Do you know what you want to do? What kind of companies you're aiming right now?
Okay, so
Hard topic.
that's yeah. That for me, I was about to say, for me, so it's very subjective. For me, it's a rather hard topic because I love to learn, and I have a lot of, let's say, little passions. I don't have one main one. And so for me, it's also, as I've said at the beginning, it's one of the reasons why I chose the Master of Science in International Management, because it's so broad, but at the same time so detailed. Since I love to learn, and I'm actually having quite a lot of fun during this master, it's been difficult for me because of course there's some subjects that I've realized aren't for me, they're not my interest, etc. But in general, with the passion of the professors, my general interest in learning, etc., I'm becoming more interested in a variety of subjects that maybe even before I wasn't sure of. So
Oh my God.
it's quite complicated. But no, in general, I think that it has helped me to understand that I want to work within a dynamic environment, that of course, but also with a lot of interaction with people. So I would like to interact with, whether it's internally or externally to the company, with clients, for example. I think that for me, this master has really developed it, both by speaking with my friends, with the students, as well as actually speaking with the professors and their own experiences. So yeah, that for me, it's quite a hard topic, but but yeah,
You will do it, I'm
of
sure.
course, of course.
No worries about this. Um, so what's happened outside when you are not in class? How is life in Monaco?
It's
Imagine
fun.
the people that never been in Monaco. What is Monaco?
I have to admit, I can't lie. I can't lie here. It's fun. It is very fun. We are very busy. We're very, very busy with studying, but when we're not studying, there's a lot to do because it's not just, I don't think many people realize this. It's not just Monaco, it's also the south of France because with taxis, buses, train stations, it's so easy to get around anywhere, especially if you have a car, for example. But even if you don't, there's so many services where that will take you to all the little villages around. So it's not just Monaco. It's you're not constrained here, which is great because I know IUM says our campus is Monaco is your campus. I think that's not true. It's a lot bigger, which is also much more fun. And yeah, there is a lot to do. Whether going to the various villages, etc. There's a lot of restaurants. There's also a lot of partying for who likes to party. The student association keeps us busy. And now, actually, we have this week we have the ball and the after party, so it's the last event of the year. And yeah,
Do you
no,
have your Bridgerton costume for
of
the gala?
course, of course.
Oh,
I'm already in a shirt. All I need is I'm ready to go already. No, but it is very fun and also of course, this is a uni related webinar, so I want to highlight and also I was the co-president of one of the biggest associations in IUM. I think it's worth highlighting the societies that we have within IUM, which are essentially clubs, but it's for continue studying, let's say, but it's not. It's so much more than that, and it's so fun. Personally, I was the co-president of the Finance Society, and although I do not want to work in finance, it was still so much fun to really be part of it. Of course, I was part of it more on a deeper level, but I was also just a member before, and it was so much fun. We did so many various events, whether it was cocktails or, for example, investment simulations, etc. And there isn't just the finance society. There's also the luxury society that do so many events. It's really amazing. The entrepreneurship society, and also so many sports ones as well. We have the sailing club, the tennis club, football club. Really, we're so
motorsport.
absolutely, we're so busy. It's amazing, and and this is just for the university. So even going outside, there's even more stuff to do, which is it is really fun. Unless it's exam season, then it's not the best because you're stuck studying. But after that,
But it's only
yeah,
3 weeks per year, so that's fine.
that is true.
It's not
I know, but
so,
I'm suffering right now, so I need to
yeah, you need
spend
to
more
extra.
catharsis. Yeah.
Okay. Have you attended the networking cocktail in April?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
how it was? How was the experience?
It was very fun. It was actually very fun. So we did it. Where was it? Méridien, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we did it. We did it there, and it was so much fun because I didn't realize just how many we were gonna be,
Mm.
and I was shocked because I knew the alumni were gonna come, but I also saw many of my friends from past years that I wasn't
Oh.
expecting of seeing there, and catching up with them, seeing how they've been doing. Looking at getting an insight into their careers was so much fun. And so there I met friends, I met professionals as well, because you start like that. You start with a friend of yours that you haven't seen in a while, and then they're working maybe in a bank, so you find out you meet the CEO of the bank, and you're there kind of all awkward and you don't really know what to say. But no, that was a really fun experience. I wasn't expecting it to be that fun, in all honesty, but I think it's because I thought it was going to be more formal. But
Yeah.
it's really fun to see CEOs and top managers and companies all
Mm.
around Monaco being so informal with you and talking about this and that and anything, and going from talking about potential internship opportunities to, so where are you going to party next?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
quite
But
surreal.
that what makes Monaco different from other places, I think.
Exactly, yeah.
This is the kind of, like, I don't know, the close relation to everyone, and no one is stuck in their very official role. Um, but I think also about networking, reflecting about this kind of cocktails that we organize for many years, I think it's interesting that, like, I think it's second year that we do this experience where they mix all the master cohorts, and I think it works quite well because this kind of, especially for the international management, I mean, the students are not still define their career goals or not sure, so they can kind of explore little bit more broadly, like finance, luxury, yachting, sport, even sports. So everything is so close. That's also create this kind of nice mix. Yeah. Okay. So what will be the advice that you can give to our future students?
Every time I get asked this, I might seem a bit monotonous, but I always say the same thing: be open-minded.
Mm.
You don't have to be extroverted if that's not you, but just being open-minded, I think, is the best thing that you can do, because you're going to have a lot of opportunities and a lot of doors opening to you. And I'm not saying go through each one, of course, but try to push yourself to get out of your comfort zone, meet new people, have fun both inside and outside of university, and really try to apply yourself. Because, for example, quite a few there were quite a few subjects, for example, that I thought I wouldn't like, but instead I was open-minded. I said, okay, let's see how it goes. I listened to the professor. He was so passionate that it really it increased my interest in the subject. And I actually did an internship in that field, and I had fun, but it wasn't my favorite. I wasn't looking for to having a career in it, to continue my career there. And we had a course this year, and I thought, oh, here we go, there we go. Instead, I saw it from a different point of view. So it was the same field, but the same industry, but from a different perspective. And it really opened up my eyes. Same thing with being outside. Do not be another thing. Do not, it's always about being open-minded. We're all super comfortable in being in our own culture. Italians go with the Italians, the French go with the French, etc. But really, there's so much more in common than you might think with other cultures, and those differences, actually learning about them, is what creates the most bond. It was really beautiful to develop friendships with people outside of my culture, and I think it's some of my best friendships today. So really being open-minded, again, not necessarily extroverted if that's not you, but being aware that there are opportunities, and you should try to push yourself to grasp them, is the best thing that you can do.
Thank you. Very, very nice speech. I really like your words. Giorgio, so what will be the next? I mean, I know that you are capstone, you are not defined, but I always like to ask the question about what is the next, like where you see yourself, 5 years, 10 years, where we will meet.
We'll meet at the 10-year, 15-year reunion, I think. And genuinely, I have no clue. I have one main goal in mind, is to find my passion, because as I've said, I have many little ones, but I want to find my main one and just continue applying myself to the best of my abilities. That's my answer. Unfortunately, I don't have a crystal ball to tell you where I'll be in 5 years.
You don't need crystal ball, but think about your dreams when you were a kid.
I know.
mean,
I wanted to be an
dreamed
astronaut.
about being astronaut.
I did. So that could be possible in a few years. You never know.
I mean, why not? Everything is possible.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. So thank you very much. I think we are at the end. So maybe we can see if there is some questions from Matilde.
We already have a few questions for Giorgio, but if anyone has more, you can type them in the chat or in the Q&A session. So Giorgio, someone is asking if the search for, I think you might have answered it a little bit, but if the search of internship is hard for you, and if IUM is helping you, and in which way?
Okay. Yeah. So I'm still looking. So it's not been easy, I have to admit. But okay. So very quick, I don't know how much time we have, but the answer is actually I'll try to be concise. Monaco, it's a small place, and it seems like there aren't a lot of opportunities, but there are. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions. There are a lot of opportunities. Maybe there aren't as many fields as you might find in a larger city. The fields might be a bit more specific in yachting, finance, hotelerie, stuff like that. But still, there are a lot of opportunities. Again, there are a lot of fields as well, but the main ones are a few. Uh, so it's not been easy, but IUM has been helping. Also, one of the most interesting events that they do is the career days, where there's cocktails. There's cocktails. There's uh, speeches, for example, from professionals. There's interviews. There's so many opportunities to actually meet, network, and to meet and network with professionals that I think at least you will have quite a large pool of potential applications, let's say. Also, you don't have to necessarily be selected, for example, for an interview. I had a friend of mine that she wasn't selected for one of the specific applications that there were, let's say. And literally she said, you know what, I will wait at the end of all the interviews and I will check if they have a few minutes. She spoke a few minutes with this this professional, and she said she got a callback for an actual for a real interview. So you always have chances. It's not easy, as I've said, because Monaco is very competitive. But if you start early enough, don't listen to your friends that say, "Oh yeah, start 2 months before your due date." No, start 6 months before, and you won't have any problems.
Okay, thank you. Another question is about the level of English. So your English is really good, but how was it when you started? So in the bachelor, and how hard is it, do you think, for other students who might not have the same level as you?
Okay. So for me, I've been speaking English since I was 9 years old, so it doesn't really apply to
That
me,
explains it.
unfortunately. Yeah, but it's not a problem. I would say for your English, I don't really know what the requirements are for the minimum amount.
Yeah.
But in the bachelor, actually, I had a few friends of mine. I also speak French, and they were French, so I was speaking French with them, and they didn't know how to speak English, let's say, as well as they do now, because IUM does help you. So it is, and there's also a lot of leniency, let's say, on your English level when it comes to classes. Professors are aware of it. We are a very international university. Therefore, as long as you get past the minimum requirements and you apply yourself in class, you ask questions if you don't understand. Because the thing that professors really don't like is uh, when you're shy to talk about your level of English, and therefore they keep going and explaining, and then they have to explain everything again. They're so happy to just explain in maybe simpler words in the moment where you don't understand. And of course, I'm not sure if there are extra classes, I think. I don't know if, yeah.
There is.
So there is a lot of leniency and a lot of ability to improve your English. And today, those friends that I was speaking French with at the time, now they speak very good English and they have absolutely no problem. So, and I think after the first year, the hardest part will be over.
Thank you. You were mentioning minimum levels. So when you apply for the master, for those who are watching, you need B2 minimum level of English. So I would say it's not that hard, and then you will improve as you are going in.
You
Camille, we have
definitely improve,
sorry,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
we have a question which is more for you, which is there any age restriction to do the master degree?
No, really, we don't have any restrictions in terms of age. However, of course, I need to underline that the majority of the students doing this master, they are around 22 to 30 years old. So in case if you have already, like you've done your career, you worked several, like 5 to 7 years already in the industry, potentially MBA will be more adapted because we are still comparing a lot MBA and international management, because it's still like the same how to say, international management discovery, like the industry, the whole cycle of the company. So potentially MBA will be more adapted, but there is no like defined restrictions, age restriction. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will write down my email in the chat, but if you want to send us your profile, so your CV, some grades, etc., we can also have a look at your profile and tell you if the Master in International Management or the MBA is more adapted to your profile.
What I maybe wanted, because like this is something that comes to my mind right now, because I've had an interview like 1 hour ago with one of the candidate hesitating between MBA and sport business management program. And here you see that the person has already experience. So he worked already for like several years in the finance industry, but he wants to join sport industry. And here, like missing this sports related knowledge can be like impacted his career opportunities. So that's why, for example, if you've done, I don't know, the few years you're working already in finance, but you are still have the feeling that you miss this international aspect, that's completely normal that you can do. Yeah, that will be evident that this program can help you.
Okay, thank you, Camille. We have two last questions, which is more for Giorgio, I would say. One is that you mentioned
Lucky
the
me.
Finance Society. So how can you get part of it? How can you be part of a society or a club?
Okay, so if you want to be a member, so simply attend the events, etc., it's rather easy. There's a very nice club fair, let's say. So, yeah, they call it club society or club fair, and there you will meet the members, the actual board members of the societies. They will tell you a bit more about it and answer any questions you might have. And simply you sign up. And very few have screening processes, but they're mainly they're not that in depth. They're simply to see if you actually are interested on the subjects and if you will attend, to ensure high attendance. And yeah, so that's quite easy to do. And they're also very active on social media. So if you start to follow them on social media, they will also post links to apply and things like that. If you want to be a board member there, then it's a bit more difficult. You need to get to know the actual current board member. Maybe you need to wait one semester because it changes every 1 to 2 semesters, depending on what the current board decides. You need to actually attend the events, apply yourself, show your interest, and get to know the board, which of course are always super open because they're students like you. And then they have moments in which they will screen for the next board once they leave. So you have the opportunity to join both as a normal member or as a board member. So it's rather easy to do, which is very nice, because the events are very high level, very fun to attend. So it's also nice that everybody has the chance to go.
Perfect, thank you. And the last question that we have is someone that is actually in the process of admission and is asking advice for the motivational interview.
Oh, for the motivational interview, just be yourself. I have to be honest, just be yourself. Get to know, maybe be clear on why you want to join, in the sense that it's fine to say, I want to experience Monaco. And if that's your reason, you don't need to necessarily say, oh yeah, I love your program, etc. Of course, that should be how it is. But it's better to be honest and really understand what you're looking to get out of it. And yeah, the interview, it's usually a professor or a member of the faculty, and they're always super open-minded and ready to help you out. And it's more an informal chat, let's say, to get to know you better and really understand how you are. So I would say be yourself and be clear on what your goals are from this overall university experience.
Great, good advice. Thank you. I think we are all done for the questions. So I don't know if Camille, you have something to add.
Maybe just thank you, Giorgio, once again
Always,
for having and like finding time in your very busy schedule.
always
Uh,
available.
Good luck for the last 3 weeks. So it's the final run, so
Yeah.
you are close to the end. And good luck with the capstone. Don't hesitate. We can talk.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Trying to define where to go. So yeah, thank you, Mathilde, for
Yeah.
organizing this. It was really nice.
Thank you to the both of you. And Giorgio, we look forward to having you in a few years as an alumni talking about your career.
Absolutely. I
Oh
can't
my
wait.
God. And then PhD or DBA, you need to cook
Of
and
course.
return back.
Of course. Every time you add a new master, a new course, I come back. No, thank you very much for
Good.
having me, and I hope this was helpful for anybody listening, anybody attending. So thank you as well for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
You
Likewise.
too.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Good luck to
you.
everyone.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.